Before we go any further, something must be made very clear. What you are watching is research. It is not an accusation. It is not a conclusion. This is an important distinction, because the full truth of the Epstein case cannot be known until every single record is released to the public. And as we stand here today, many of those critical records remain sealed, locked away from public view. This isn't just a minor detail. It's the central challenge in understanding this entire story. So let's start with what we know for a fact about the FBI's involvement. The FBI did investigate Jeffrey Epstein. That much is confirmed and not up for debate. Over multiple years, federal agents collected evidence. They conducted interviews with witnesses and potential victims, and they worked alongside federal prosecutors. We have documentation showing their activity, their presence at key locations, and their role in gathering the material that would eventually form the basis of legal proceedings. This wasn't a secret operation in that sense. It was a federal investigation, following established protocols. However, and this is a critical point that often gets lost in the noise, the FBI does not decide who gets charged with a crime. That responsibility belongs to federal prosecutors, specifically those in the U.S. Attorney's Office. The FBI investigates and gathers evidence. Then they present their findings to prosecutors. It is the prosecutors who then decide whether there is enough evidence to secure an indictment from a grand jury and proceed with a criminal case. An investigation can exist, even a very thorough one, without it ever leading to indictments, a trial, or any public disclosure of its findings. This doesn't automatically mean that wrongdoing was deliberately hidden or that there was a cover-up. It simply means the legal process, for a multitude of potential reasons, did not move to the next stage. It can mean evidence was deemed insufficient, witnesses were uncooperative, or strategic decisions were made by the prosecution. The process is complex and, from the outside, often incomplete. This leads us to the big question: why do so many questions remain unanswered? The primary reason is Epstein's death in custody. Legally speaking, when the central defendant in a criminal case dies, the case against them stops. It's a foundational principle of our legal system. You cannot put a deceased person on trial. As a result, much of the evidence that was collected specifically for that trial may never be tested in a courtroom. Witnesses who were prepared to testify cannot be cross-examined under oath, and perhaps most importantly for the public, the vast troves of documents and materials gathered during the investigation, which are often sealed to protect the integrity of the trial, frequently remain sealed indefinitely. The legal justification for unsealing them a public trial is gone. This creates a massive void, a deep well of uncertainty. Where there is uncertainty, speculation is sure to follow. People naturally try to fill in the blanks. But we must always remember, speculation is not proof, is not evidence. It is at best a hypothesis waiting for facts. Now, let's address the many high-profile names you see circulating online. This is an area where we must be incredibly careful and responsible. Countless names, from politicians to celebrities to business leaders, are mentioned in connection with this case. Some of these names appear in official media reports. Some appear in civil court records, like flight logs or depositions. And many others appear only in online rumors, memes, and unsubstantiated gossip. It is absolutely crucial to understand that simply appearing in a discussion, a document, or a news article does not mean that person was involved in any wrongdoing. Being on a flight log isn't proof of a crime. Being mentioned in a deposition isn't the same as a criminal charge. As of now, there are no verified criminal charges related to Epstein's trafficking network against many of the most prominent individuals mentioned online. This includes high-profile political figures from all sides of the aisle, till the complete, unredacted FBI and court documents are released. No one can responsibly claim to have full knowledge of who was involved and who was not. That includes the public, that includes the media, and that most certainly includes us. We are repeating this for a reason, and we will say it again and again. This video, and our entire approach to this subject, is based on research, analysis, and a review of documented evidence. It is not an accusation. We are piecing together a puzzle with many missing pieces. The Epstein case remains legally and factually unfinished. The narrative is incomplete till every sealed document is opened and every redacted name is revealed through an official process. No one truly knows the full picture. Anyone who tells you they have all the answers is either misinformed or misleading you. The pursuit of truth requires intellectual honesty, and that means acknowledging what we don't know. The desire for a simple, clean story with clear heroes and villains is understandable, but reality is often far messier. We are committed to navigating that mess by sticking to the facts as they are known, not as we wish them to be. But here's what we can do. We don't have to sit back and wait in silence. We can read what is public. We can examine what is documented. We can analyze the court filings, the depositions, and the official reports that have been released. And most importantly, we can continue to ask why so much of this story remains hidden from the public. We can question the process, scrutinize the decisions that were made, and demand greater transparency from the institutions that hold the keys. In our next video, we will do exactly that. We will carefully and methodically review who is mentioned by name in the publicly available records. We will do this without assumptions, without accusations, and without adding to the rampant speculation. We will present the documented facts and let them speak for themselves, because the truth doesn't need exaggeration, doesn't need embellishment. It needs documents. It needs evidence. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching.